Hey everyone, it's Ian from the Postal Hub podcast.
And Marek from Last Mile
And
Expert.
we are the last mile prophets. And Marek, as prophets, it's time for us to bathe in our own glory. Something we predicted has finally happened.
We did indeed.
Amazon has been a player in the last mile, just delivering its own parcels, and now it's opening up its network to others. It's just been announced in the UK, hasn't it, Marek?
It has indeed. To be fair, Ian, we did mention this a while ago because there were already signals. There was something in the States where they were opening up the network, but this looks like it's really serious now.
This is in the last mile because they've been doing Fulfilled by Amazon and all those sorts of things. This is it. This is the last mile being done by Amazon for others. So what have you found out?
Well, first of all, it looks like it's serious because they've got a whole website showing, how they're going to do it, what benefits they offer, and of course, guess what? Very customer centric. All the key things that you'd be interested in are there on one page.
Well, look, we could talk about that. I guess what people really want to know is what's this mean for the market in the UK, the last mile market in the UK? What does it mean for the existing players, whether it's Royal Mail, Yodel, or even the Pudo networks and the Parcel Locker networks? I mean, what's it going to mean? What was your immediate impression for the last mile? Who's the most nervous today? That's probably the question.
Well, first of all, I think this is going to rock the boat. I would be less concerned if I had a strong Pudo or out-of-home network because I basically think that Amazon will just use it. I would be concerned if I was a carrier without too many customer-centric features. So if I was in Yodel's shoes, Royal Mail's shoes, I would be more than worried.
Because this is sort of what Amazon's built its delivery network on, is being customer-centric. And people may have heard us talk about this before, the customer experience and interactive delivery management, and building that all into basically the company's delivery DNA. Yodel did announce recently that they were going to take the next step into interactive delivery management, didn't they?
Listen, they did, and I think Hermes had something as well.
It was Hermes, sorry, it was Hermes, yes.
But Ian, from what I've seen, this is old hat. It's stuff that's been around for 3 or 4 years. So it's hardly what I'd call new. The reality is there's only one player in the UK, and Dwayne McDonald will love to hear this. There's only one player that's anywhere close to Amazon, that's DPD UK. Having said that, Amazon, I believe, has 2 fundamental advantages. The first is they are a tech company. And tech is no longer, we've discussed this, a nice to have thing for last mile. It's fundamental. And they have more features, I believe, today than even DPD UK has. So that's one thing. The second thing is Amazon is very holistic. It will use third-party out-of-home networks. It's agnostic in the sense that although it's a closed network, it will work with pretty much everyone, and very few people will turn them down.
When you talk about partners, one thing I wanted to quickly mention was that they've got a contractor delivery network as well. They don't have their own employees. They have expanded fairly quickly. I mean, I interviewed one of their contractors a few weeks ago on the Postal Hub podcast, and this particular contract in the space of 10 years, I think it was, they expanded from one contract to basically having contracts the length of the UK. So,
DSPs.
Delivery service partners, yes. So there's been a huge growth just in that. Now, I think it's worth mentioning really quickly why Amazon is in the last mile in the UK, because you've got a couple of insights into this. Mate, well, let's just start with that rather than me rabbiting on. Why is Amazon in the last mile in the UK?
If I were to keep it very simple, there'll be 2 important bullet points. The first would be capacity, and the second, customer-centric features. The reality is that the big players, and at that time it was Royal Mail and Yodel, or I think it was probably called Home Delivery Network then still. But anyway, the big players in the market were not able to offer enough capacity and to be progressive enough to offer customer-centric features that Amazon felt were needed.
So clearly Amazon thinks that it's got the capacity now to be able to open up to others.
Yeah, well, remember one thing, that they're going to be able to pick and choose what, where, and how. They do have the capacity. They also have third parties. So even if you sign up with Amazon, it's not necessarily going to mean that every single address will be delivered directly. As you've said, they have a third-party network, so they're using DSPs, not their own employees, to deliver. They do have lockers and third-party access points. So I think it's going to be what Amazon do really well. They'll use tech to offer a super customer-centric and very high-capacity last-mile capability. And then, frankly, the more volume they get on board, the better rates they can negotiate from their partners, and it's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
One thing I want to quickly mention is that Amazon does have some of its own parcel lockers in the UK as well. We've previously talked about how parcel lockers haven't really taken off in the UK. Could this be a turning point as well? If more volume goes through Amazon's network, does that mean more parcel lockers branded with Amazon?
I think there will be more parcel lockers because we've seen the stuff that InPost is doing. And remember, on the 24th of June at 3 o'clock Central European time, we'll be talking all about that. But I think lockers will be more popular. We can see what's happening with InPost. And was it Great Western Rail?
I think that was right, yes. One of the railway companies have partnered with the railway company to put them in.
Lidl.
Lidl as well.
So it's happening. And Amazon's got its own. From what I remember, Amazon has around about 1,000 machines, maybe a bit more now. InPost has a similar amount, which is nowhere close to what is needed for the UK. But what is really interesting, and we'll talk about this on the 24th, is incredible customer preference data on what they think about lockers vis-a-vis home delivery.
So in summary, Amazon is opening up its last mile delivery network to others, so it won't be just a dedicated end-to-end Amazon system. So what is it going to mean for the customer, do you think? Just in summary, because we talk about the customer all the time, customer experience, customer-centric, customer obsession. What does it mean for the customer?
In short, good news. I think Amazon, again, have upped the ante, and what will happen is other carriers are going to have to follow them and implement more of these features themselves or fall by the wayside.
Comment below. What do you reckon this means? Will Amazon trial this in the UK and then roll out across the rest of Western Europe? Because we know they're active in the last mile in various other countries. Will this be a foretaste of what's going to come in the USA or even in Australia, where Amazon has started doing a bit in the last mile? Comment below, share your thoughts, and also in the link below, I'll put in the comments below, I'll put a link to that webinar that Marek mentioned before, InPost and Last Mile Profits webinar on the 24th of June, 3 p.m. Central European time, or Central European Summer Time, I beg your pardon. Anyway, you'll see all the details down there. Share your thoughts, what you reckon is going to happen. Marek Ruzetsky from Last Mile Experts, thanks for being part of this today.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you, everyone. Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed this episode of The Last Mile Profits.
Make sure you subscribe, hit the subscribe button and also the notifications bell so you get a notification every time we add a new video to this channel. Look forward to sharing more stuff with you on The Last Mile Profits.